Why the Earth rotates in a spiral motion around the Sun. Illustration of universal gravitation and the gravitational field. Newton's equation for universal gravitation shows a uniform square-shaped force distribution between two objects on a plane, F(g(m)(m)(r)(2). If we visualize Newton's equation for universal gravitation, r squared, can be viewed as a square, a plane, and the force between two objects shows a uniform square-shaped distribution. In 2 dimensions, the balance of forces shows a square-shaped distribution. This is likely due to the inertia that attempts to maintain a stationary or constant velocity. This is because inertia only applies linearly. This balance between two objects demonstrates the formation of a gravitational field within a certain range. However, people have viewed universal gravitation solely in arithmetical terms, thinking of it as a pulling force. The square-shaped distribution of force can create concentric waves centered on the Sun, much like the concentric circles formed when an object falls onto a calm surface. This explains why the Earth orbits the Sun. It appears that the Earth orbits the Sun, not being pulled by concentric waves. However, the Earth does not orbit in place. It spirals around the Sun. In other words, it maintains a uniform square force while drawing concentric circles, a kind of three-body motion. Law of equal area velocity. If we consider concentric circles further, we see that the Earth and the Sun are not concentric, but rather elliptical orbits. As the Earth approaches the Sun, the area of the Earth's orbital balance decreases, and this decrease seems to translate into acceleration. Therefore, acceleration occurs in the slightly indented area of the concentric circle, like a balloon. As the Earth moves away from the Sun, it expands like a balloon. As it expands, the Earth slows down. But because the inward pull increases, it again approaches the Sun. This is the meaning of Kepler's second law, the law of equal area velocity. Acceleration changes occur due to the increase or decrease in area. As the area decreases, the Earth's speed increases, thereby counteracting the gravitational pull, and as it moves away from the Sun, the orbital area increases, slowing down. As the speed decreases, the gravitational pull increases, pulling the Earth back toward the Sun. Therefore, the overall orbital speed is balanced by the law of equal area velocity. This same motion can also be observed in waves. The continuous formation of concentric circles is analogous to waves crashing on a calm sea. When waves crash on a calm surface, they appear to transform into waves as the calm surface shrinks. Conversely, as waves shrink, they appear to transform into calm water. Because waves are generated by the Earth's rotation, this motion can be considered spiral motion or an infinitely cyclical motion. As the calm surface shrinks, the wave acceleration occurs, suggesting that Kepler's law of equal area velocity applies. This pattern of movement is like the movement of electromagnetic waves. In both the microscopic and macroscopic worlds, the movement of all matters appears to be governed by the law of constant area velocity. Only then can it matter continuously accelerate and circulate, otherwise it would not be able to do so, and thus would not be able to circulate. This also resembles breathing, like a living organism. The Sun and the Earth can be considered electromagnetic waves, and these stars appear to come together to form a vast, living universe. Matter demonstrates that it can spiral through cycles of high and low entropy, utilizing the force of attraction and the gravitational field, a uniform distribution of forces between two substances, spiral motion and the new world of gravity. Moreover, in nature, high and low are not discernible, while high and low are fixed in two-body problems. As we move into three-body, four-body, and multi-body problems, the difference can be high for some but low for others. This is why calculating nature is difficult, and even if a solution is found, it may be fragmentary, temporary, or far from reality. Furthermore, nature appears to change through balance and harmony, rather than through complex calculations like humans. Formally, it appears to be based on spiral or three-body motion. Universal gravitation and general relativity explain gravity, based on two-body motion. This leads to circular motion, a motion that pulls objects back from their original positions, and a closed motion. Spiral motion is a flowing motion, and the pull does not prevent objects from leaving their original positions but rather propels them forward. The Sun and Earth exhibit spiral motion, with the Sun pulling the Earth forward. This is not a repetition of order, but a creative cycle that endlessly creates new circles and orders. It endlessly creates new concentric circles, each representing a new world of gravity. The forces that break existing concentric circles and create new ones remain unexplained. From this perspective, universal gravitation and general relativity appear to be generalizations, based on fragmentary aspects of gravity. Gravity demonstrates the transformation of force, from a planar force to a spatial one. This demonstrates the harmony between the Earth and the sky, and because this is achieved through moment-to-moment balance, it represents a transition from the world of existing gravity to a new world of gravity. Furthermore, it demonstrates the emergence of the world of creation and life, concentric circles of the solar system and the Titius-Bode law. In his 1772 book, Aanleiding zur Kenntnis des gestrengten Himmels, Johann Bode noted a similar sequence pattern for the spacing of the planets in the solar system. This is commonly known as the Titius-Bode law. The planets in the solar system are so perfectly spaced that they continue to revolve around the Sun in nearly circular orbits, without colliding or even coming close to each other. Because each planet gravitationally attracts all the others, all celestial bodies wobble slightly, but no significant changes occur. The spacing of the planets in the solar system follows a consistent sequence, and this regularity appears to be due to concentric waves centered around the Sun. Natural motion and human concepts of shutdown. Natural motion, as seen in Kepler's second law and wave motion, utilizes inertial forces, which create an even distribution of forces among objects, to generate acceleration. This process allows for continuous spiral motion because energy is absorbed and consumed in a cyclical manner. In contrast, current universal gravitation and general relativity cannot explain the spiral motion of the Earth and the Sun. Universal gravitation describes circular motion on a plane, while general relativity describes curvature of space, resulting in curved motion. The problem with these two theories is that they cannot explain continuous circular motion. Human-conceived motion methods are motions that end once acceleration is achieved. So, if we examine general relativity, it states that accelerated motion occurs due to the warping of space, without the exchange of energy. And while black holes are derived, this is not something that can occur in the universe, but rather a theoretical phenomenon. In nature, they cannot exist without the exchange of energy, leading to a shutdown. Images of what are supposed to be black holes reveal their shape and size. They differ from theoretical black holes. Energy exchange is possible if there is area. According to the law of constant area velocity, the continuous inflow and outflow of energy is possible through the increase or decrease of area or volume. While Stephen Hawking argued that black holes can evaporate due to Hawking radiation, black holes may not have existed in the first place. And while shutdowns do not occur in nature, they can occur if we manipulate the motion of objects through human methods. It's likely that quantum computers will often malfunction and shut down. However, this phenomenon seems largely unknown to the public.